Hello again, Struck Pub. December is getting closer and closer, and so are the lots of games that are coming this month. And as usual, I'm making different videos dedicated to different types of games and genres of games and subgenres, so that it would be easier to find the game that suits you. And this one is dedicated to city builder, city sim, colony sim, and so on. In short, builder and sim games. I've included 10 games. It is in a chronological order of release date, so it's not a top 10 list or whatsoever, because it would be silly to make a top 10 list for games you've never played. I hope you really enjoy this list, and maybe at least one or maybe all of the games would be to your liking. So buckle up, struck up, and let's go. The first title on this list is Dwarven Skykeep, releasing in the 1st of December 2022, developed by Hack the publisher, published by Raven Age Games and East to West Games, a humorous pixel art strategy game set in a medieval world of wizardry. Dive into a supernatural universe and start building towers using your magical deck of cards and drunken dwarves. The game looks pretty solid for what it is. I like the visuals. I like that there's humor in the game, and overall, I think it would be fun to people to try for people who enjoy the genre. So meet the great wizard Doctor Seven Darkness, a master in card magic. The sorcerer arrives in the dwarven city with a mission. Find out the exact details of this mysterious mission by helping Dr. Ness do what he does best: build the coolest towers using different types of cards. Choose them wisely before each level. So yeah, build, upgrade, and defend your towers with the help of dwarves and gnomes. Explore 5 distinct worlds, each with unique mechanics. Meet tons of interesting and charismatic characters, monsters, and bosses, and uncover references to cult films, novels, and even other games. Overall, I think it would be a fun little game to try, and it's almost here. As long as they don't overprice it, I think it could find a solid audience. On December 4th, we have a release, early access release for Art of the Rail, spiritual remake of the classic transport tycoon games. Build a profitable transport network and grow your world's economy, either on your own in single player or in multiplayer, whether cooperatively or competitively. Developed and self-published by RocketWerkz. As I mentioned, it's going to be an early access release on the 4th of December. Some of the features: construct transport networks using roads, rails, tunnels, and bridges. Develop your vehicle routes to maximize profits. Establish and upgrade stations and vehicle hubs with base, cargo yards, and more. Meeting economic needs directly grows and develops the economy of your world. Edit the terrain to improve your transport networks. Find multiplayer, find full multiplayer with up to 16 other players. Um, does it mean up to? Does it mean 16 plus 1 or does it mean 16 total? Because it would be strange to have the number at 17. In any case, let's go on either cooperatively or competitively, as I mentioned for the multiplayer. Entirely moddable, including a built-in asset editor to create and configure anything for the game, which is one of the biggest pulls for this game, the entirely moddable, fully moddable thing. And you can create and share procedural worlds to play in are within a click of a button, but you can also load maps from height map data and create your own custom scenarios and maps. Upload them to share with others or challenge yourself and complete those made by others. And it's apparently a detailed financial simulation, and performance is a feature. Custom rendering network and spline simulation tools allow a huge amount of vehicles, giving intense levels of scale seen by the great tycoon games of the past. So yeah, this game seems like the perfect project for modders to make their next steps into. I think RocketWerkz might have done something amazing here with Art of the Rail. Time will tell very soon if that's the case. From a Dwarven Skykeep, now we have another Dwarven game called Dwarven Fortress. And this, by the way, is a game with a huge, massive legacy in ASCII, in the ASCII world. But now it's getting kind of updated, kind of polished, reworked as a pixel art game. The deepest, most intricate simulation of a world that's ever been created. Legendary Dwarf Fortress is now on Steam. Build a fortress and try to help your dwarf survive against a deeply generated world. Releasing on the 6th of December 2022, developed by Bay 12 Games and published by Kid Fox Games. And yeah, I've visited the Bay 12 website. There's a lot of information there. I visited the Kid Fox website as well. There is a Dwarf Fortress wiki as well. There's so much information about that game. Apparently, it has an avid following. It even has a version on itch.io, kidfoxgames.itch.io, where you can get some more information and maybe play some demos and stuff. I'm not seeing the demo, but maybe there is a link somewhere out there. Overall, I think this game would be fun. Let's tell you a little bit about it. Not just generated geometry, a whole simulated world. Generated a rise and fall of civilizations, personalities, creatures, cultures, etc. Infinite hours of gameplay. Now with beautiful pixel graphics. Learn the basics with in-game tutorials. A lifetime living project created, updated since 2003 with no end in sight. Generate your unique world and manage a bustling colony of dwarves, even as they probably mine towards their eventual demise. A new endless hobby just for you. And yes, this really seems like that type of game that that can become your second life. So you can craft treasures and furnitures from various materials, establish a barony and support the increasingly demanding nobility, read your dwarf's thoughts to keep them happy, build food gates to divert water for farming and or prevent magma mishaps, build structures and watch your dwarves discover and build their culture, like taverns, libraries, temples, honey, wax, pottery, animal training, book building, and more. Overall, they're claiming that this is the original inspiration for RimWorld, Prison Architect, Minecraft, and more. Whether that's the case, only the developers who made those games could actually tell you. But they're also claiming that this is one of the first games acquired by the Museum of Modern Art in New York and updated over 16 years by two brothers. I think it's an interesting project to keep your eye on and maybe try it when it's out. Next up is another very interesting project called IXION. Authorized by Dovus AEC, you will guide the Titan space station onwards in a perilous journey to find a new home for humanity. Station infrastructure, population management, exploration, survival. These responsibilities fall to you. Will you find hope out there in the dark? Releasing on the 7th of December 2022, developed by Bulwark, maybe is the better like to pronounce it, Bulwark Studios, published by Cassedo Games. Space survival city builder, pretty dark themed, it seems. There's exploration, there's choices mattering, atmospheric elements, and obviously RTS and economy elements. Combine city building, survival elements, and exploration into a thrilling space opera as you explore the stars. Propelled onwards through a perilous journey, you are the administrator of the Titan space station, charged with finding a new hope for humanity. A little bit about some of the features. There's a Frontier Academia. So find new ways to provide for your settlement, construct new buildings to create what's needed, modify the Titan station, improve it, forge ahead in this odyssey. There's also a lot of exploration when it comes to the stellar maps. Send out probes to review what's hidden, create mining and cargo ships to find resources, commission science expeditions to discover the secrets and threats you'll find out there in space, encounter other survivors and bring them into the fold of your mission. Objective: survive. And since space is a dangerous place, there will be hull breaches, overloaded power supplies, electrical fires. It's up to you to manage these risks, deal with emergencies, create backup power solutions, and enable extra vehicular activity. Overall, I think it's an interesting, fun project, and I really appreciate it when developers go the extra mile to create extensive press kits with even render PNGs and stuff of units. I wouldn't mind trying this game if given the opportunity, because who knows, maybe it would be something I really enjoy. And now we have something zombie themed, Zombie Cure WAP. Releasing as an early access title on the 7th of December 2022, developed by Terabytes, TH at the beginning, Terabytes GmbH, and published by Aerosoft GmbH. In this sandbox web builder, you lead a team of scientists in curing, not killing, the mindless zombies attacking your base. Cured zombies will help your scientists with expanding your facilities, gathering resources, and researching new technologies. So what we're turning zombies into back into humans, and then using them as slave labor, because I guess we gave them their freedom back, so we have holds over them. It seems a little dodgy. Why are they working for us after curing them? Don't they have the choice of deciding not to work for us and go back to living their own lives? In any case, let's tell you a little bit more about this game, other than the obvious shitty plot hole. Construct walls and fences to provide shelter for your scientists. Set up efficient production lines to keep the treatment running and match the growing needs of your WAP. Manage, gather resources, set day and night shifts, and manage your different worker types. Prioritize and assign jobs within your WAP to maximize efficiency. Keep to power running in your WAP and anticipate your workers' behavior to prevent possible outbursts in the virus in your facilities. And there's also research. Obviously, you would be getting new upgrades, and they would allow you to harvest high tier materials and build high tech science equipment. New machines and improvements will help you to progress through all 4 tech tiers to finalize the cure. Speaking of the cure, healing zombies is the goal, but first you need to catch these zombies with your fancy freezing guns. Escort your well-preserved ice block zombies to the treatment chamber. Here the zombie-human hybrids, the Humbies, will emerge as your new friends willing to help you out. But beware, if a zombie is in a bad mood, they might be erratic or even start rampaging through your WAP. So you're not making them a full human. Slowly and steadily they are turning into a full human, but not right away. And they stay as a Humby for 3 stages before reaching the human stage. So yeah, keep them happy at all times, cure more to increase your workforce, and unzombie the world. Research and unlock more than 200 technologies, plan and improve your WAP layout, build and sustain a complex WAP economy, electrify your WAP and regret every blackout, manage 4 different worker types with day and night shifts, keep your workforce happy or risk dramatic zombie virus outbreaks inside your WAP, build up smart defenses to keep angry zombie hordes outside your WAP each night. Cure, don't kill, and become friend with your workforce, the Humbies. Now, here comes another very interesting title, which will be an early access release starting December 15th, 2022, developed and self-published by Polyperfect. Um, Polylytic, a game that I could only find a short teaser of 24 seconds on Steam, and this teaser shows you less than the 5 4+1 screenshots show you. So I wish they would show more gameplay. I mean, the game is coming in around less than 3 weeks, so they really need to make a proper good trailer with showcases of different features. Maybe even make a separate small video dedicated to each of the major features. But overall, it is a third-person crafting survival set in the Paleolithic Neolithic era, where the player crafts items, unlocks technology, discovers the world, builds bases, and can either grow the tribe and command the settlement or play the game solo. Overall, it looks like a fun game, but there isn't much information other than the stuff that I just read. On their website, there is slightly little bit more, maybe, saying that they would have no microtransactions, wood boxes, or any of that crap. I was just quoting from their website. Um, so there's all sorts of low poly stuff, animals, prehistoric animals, people being animated. Um, WoW Poly Ultimate Pack for WoW Poly graphics, great for prototyping, making WoW Poly stout art and games. I'm not sure if that's related to the game or some of the other stuff they sell as packs. I think they have good stuff though. So yeah, that's pretty much for them to show their assets. It's like an asset dump, but done right. So yeah, those people sell assets, and they decide to put them into a game for people to see, I guess. So maybe that's why they didn't put that much work into making a trailer, a proper one. Well, in any case, I think it's an interesting game and worth keeping an eye out on for when it releases. Here comes something from China. And developed by Team Yaozi, but published by NetEase. And NetEase, I have a bad experience with NetEase and Diablo Immortal and how they ruined a game that could have been decent if it wasn't the greedy NetEase plus Blizzard combo. Cygnus Enterprises, on the other hand, seems like an interesting game, and if it doesn't have in-app purchases, it could be a good one. Even though NetEase are the publisher, that shouldn't turn you away from testing Cygnus Enterprises if it's well priced. Take charge of a derelict outpost on a faraway planet. Rebuild your base and manage your employees. Help it thrive. Battle fierce creatures and gather resources in a lush alien environment. It will be an early access release starting the 16th of December 2022, and there's a lot of stuff. Fast-paced action shooter RPG with building and managing your base. So gather resources, construct buildings, and research new technologies. Entire new settlers to visit, live, and work on your base. So something like Rift Breaker, I guess, similar, where you have the RTS base building, but you also have isometric action RPG shooter kind of. And there's looting, crafting, trading, and also character customization. I think the game has a lot of potential to be a good one. And if they don't ruin it with season passes and in-app purchases, and it's just buy to play and maybe later buy expansions, I think it would be a successful and fun game to play. Now, another Asian-made game. From the looks of it, this one is most likely, yeah, it is a Korean-made game. Blacksmith Village. I tried hard to find more information about the game, but I couldn't find any official websites or social media. So I only have this 36-second clip that you're seeing that I got from Steam. It's saying, let's pay off the debt by running the smithy left behind by my grandfather. That is the main plot line of the game. Blacksmith Village, developed and published by Dave Studio. It's saying healing game to grow a small forge. I'm not sure if that's badly translated, but healing game, probably crafting, I don't know. It's saying collect recipes and make various equipment. Equipment can be crafted without a recipe. Okay, let's accept requests from customers visiting the forge and receive rewards. If intimacy increases, something good might happen. Send your pet to the dungeon to get the materials you need to make equipment. If you're lucky, you might find a hidden treasure. Let's enjoy healing life while feeling the little happiness of decorating the smithy. When you pay off your grandfather's debt, various events occur. So yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, that's been badly translated, auto-translated, but you get the idea. The game looks like it's designed for a mobile device, or it looks like the typical user interface one can find in a mobile game, but it shouldn't be discounted. And it should be given a try. If they don't overprice it, I think it would be worth giving it a spin. But the thing that worries me, it says in-app purchases. So that means it might be predatory and it might be just a cash grab. I guess time will tell if some people try it and leave some reviews. Another Asian-made game with zero social media presence I could find. I tried hard to find social media or official trailers. So other than the clip you're seeing, which is it was a 2 minutes 20 seconds. I probably cut some of it in the final version of this video that you're watching. But other than that video on Steam, I couldn't find more footage. Hopefully it's a longer video than the previous one. This game is supposed to release as an early access title in December 2022. It's not saying which December. Developed and self-published by Shining Team. And it will be releasing in simplified Chinese and in English. As the actor of the story, you can play a world, expand the territory, produce goods, gain profits, go overseas to colonize and bring back precious treasures, and building a strong city state for the people. You can also create a new stories and share them with others as a story creator. Obviously, again, badly auto-translated, doesn't read well, but Knights and Craftsmen seems still like a game that shouldn't be discounted and should probably be given a try if it's well priced. I'm not seeing any in-app purchases mentioned on the Steam page, and it's saying perfect mod editing and sharing functions. Through the concise editing panel, players can modify every link, item, production, building, city, mission, location, transaction, mission, faction, and even army and soldiers of the kingdom, so that every player can easily build their own kingdom and story. You can also export the packaged mod file to other players to share your story by simply copying it. Again, badly translated, but you get the gist of it. There's 5 scenes. The kingdom has 5 regions, each of which has different areas and environments, and different regions will produce different raw materials. Competing for limited resources with the forces in each region will be the key to decide whether the city states is rich or not. There's also a powerful production system apparently with 10 kinds of raw materials, 9 kinds of production workshops, more than 60 kinds of goods required by residents and city-state. There's R&D investment, 64 kinds of R&D and investments as well. Upgrading of the cities and the buildings exist as well. There's also factions and soldiers, 42 types of soldiers in the game belonging to 7 factions. You can trade and exchange goods. So 5 to 10 places or cities for each area of the kingdom. Then there's characters and equipment, soldier proficiency and faction proficiency, combat skills, overseas colonization and trade. Overall, a plethora of features. So I think definitely keep an eye out on this one. It might be a hidden gem. Who knows? Here comes another game without much information about. I really tried hard to find social media for RocketWerkz, the creators of Wild Terra. And I could find their official YouTube channel, but I couldn't find the trailer video there, so I had to download the trailer from Steam. 1 minute 10 seconds. So the creators of Wild Terra 2 bring you Grimgrat. Grimgrat is a very interesting title. Build your settlements to survive all the hardships of the dark Slavic Middle Ages and not to anger the gods. I like that they're using the Slavic myths and legends, Middle Ages as the setting here, and that's an interesting city builder. I don't think we've done that. We've seen that done. It's mostly either Nordic or regular Central Western European settings. Sometimes we see some Asian city builders like the Hongye one from last month. Overall, this is good. Features: easy to start playing even if you are new to city building games. Live game world. Communicate with Slavic gods. Fight plagues, rats, hunger, predators, and weather. Use executions, heretics, and nobles for your purpose. Issue decrees. Developing in 3 directions: church, nobles, or government. Many random events. Your decisions have consequences, and incidents will require you to change your strategy in time. Overall, I think it's worth giving this game a try, as long as they don't obviously overprice it. To get notified when I upload more content like this one or other builds and guides for Wooter and not so Wooter games, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on notifications. As well as keep in mind there's something called memberships on YouTube, which lets you be a paying member for my channel to get access to perks such as emotes and badges made by me, as well as the option to get one-on-one tutoring for the very basics of Adobe Photoshop, Premiere, and After Effects. And memberships can be cancelled at any time if you no longer want to be a member. Thanks for watching all the way until the end. Struck Web, keep it cool until next time, and goodbye.